Who truly reigns as the greatest telepath in Marvel history? Is it Professor X? Is it Jean Grey, or a surprise contender? In this video, we explore the most formidable telepaths in the Marvel Universe and the secrets behind their mind-bending abilities. From the unbreakable strength of Emma Frost's psychic barriers to the corrupting darkness of the Shadow King's malevolence, telepaths have played pivotal roles in some of the X-Men's most surprising triumphs and heartbreaking losses. This list centers on characters from the X-Men and beyond, focusing exclusively on those with innate telepathic talents rather than powers derived from mysticism, empathy, or pheromones. Before we begin, don't forget to recommend my channel on social media, as that really helps small content creators like me. First up is Nathaniel Essex, better known as Mr. Sinister. Although not born a mutant, he became one through his own grotesque genetic experiments and an endless array of clones. Over the centuries, Sinister enhanced his numerous replicas with mutant abilities, granting himself one of the most fearsome telepathic minds on Earth. Despite the X-Men's robust psychic protections, Sinister has achieved astonishing feats, including erasing the memories of multiple mutants, controlling entire squads of seasoned X-Men, and making an entire X-Force team forget how to use their powers, as seen in X-Man, 1995 issue 18. Next is Exodus, a centuries-old mutant and one of Magneto's most loyal followers, whose Omega-level telekinesis is legendary. In addition to his telekinetic mastery, Bennett Duparis wields extraordinary telepathic power, solidifying his place among Marvel's most formidable psychics. Fueled by the faith he inspires in himself and others, this influential mutant has stood his ground against iconic telepaths like Professor X and Jean Grey. Exodus commands enough raw psychic strength to incapacitate elite telepaths such as Selene and can manipulate massive crowds. In Uncanny X-Men Annual Issue 1, he used his powers to take control of the entire population of Genosha. Before Bruce Banner's transformation into the Hulk, an alien criminal named Zemu claimed the title Hulk in Journey into Mystery Issue 62. After crashing on Earth, Zemu mesmerized much of humanity with his hypnotic telepathic abilities. He possesses immense telepathic abilities, relying solely on his mental powers to communicate, as he has no mouth. His telepathy is formidable, enough to challenge even Moondragon in a psychic duel. Zemu's influence extends through television and other electronic devices, enabling him to effortlessly hypnotize large groups of people with modern technology. In his most staggering act, Zemu rewrote the memories of every person on Earth, briefly positioning himself as a revered hero in Immortal Hulk issue 31. Since her debut in Iron Man issue 54 as Madame McEvil, Moondragon has demonstrated her telepathic dominance on a cosmic scale, serving as a vital member of both the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. After the apparent death of her parents at the hands of Thanos, Heather Douglas trained with the Shaolorn monks on Titan to fully awaken her psychic abilities. Moondragon wielded her mental powers as the longtime guardian of the Mind Stone, one of the 6 legendary Infinity Stones. Her formidable psychic abilities allow her to effortlessly communicate across vast interplanetary distances. In one of her most extraordinary feats, she telepathically controlled 2 warring civilizations to enforce peace, all while simultaneously taking on a powerful Avengers team in Avengers issue 220. When he allows himself, Franklin Richards is among the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe. Though he deliberately placed artificial restrictions on his abilities, the teenage son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman possesses an extensive range of powers, including unparalleled telepathic strength. The full scope of Franklin's psychic capabilities remains a mystery, but he has already confronted some of the most intimidating cosmic forces in existence, the Celestials. When a rogue faction of Celestials from an alternate dimension tried to overpower him, Franklin effortlessly repelled their telepathic assault in Fantastic Four 2011 issue 13. Emerging from a dystopian future where Sentinels nearly eradicated mutants, Rachel Summers upheld the legacy of her parents, Cyclops and Jean Grey. Like her mother, Ascani possesses extraordinary telepathic and telekinetic abilities, and is one of the most stable and enduring hosts of the Phoenix Force. Through her telepathy alone, Rachel defeated powerful psychic opponents like Exodus and Quentin Quire, earning a comparison to Professor X himself. Between her telepathic talents and Phoenix-fueled powers, Rachel not only reprogrammed all the Sentinels in her original timeline, but also single-handedly defeated Galactus in Excalibur issue 61. Once the villainous White Queen of the Hellfire Club, Emma Frost has since proven herself as one of the X-Men's most indispensable leaders. In the absence of Professor X and Jean Grey, Frost rose to the challenge and became the team's primary telepath. Her extensive experience sharpened her psychic abilities, enabling her to triumph over telepathic titans like Rachel Summers in mental duels. One of Emma Frost's most remarkable achievements occurred after Cyclops succumbed to the deadly effects of the Inhumans' Terrigen Mist. She used her telepathic abilities to impersonate the deceased mutant leader, broadcasting to every mind on Earth and fabricating the details of his death in Death of X issue 4. Or what about this mind game she played on Scott to get him to get intimate with her? The Shadow King, a being of multiversal significance, represents the darkest extremes of telepathic power. Since possessing the young telepath Amal Farouk centuries ago, the Shadow King's corrupting influence continues to ripple through the Marvel Universe. The Shadow King has bested numerous telepaths on the astral plane, including his enduring nemesis, Charles Xavier. On the physical plane, he has covertly taken control of veteran heroes and entire teams of X-Men, as seen in the Muir Island saga that began in Uncanny X-Men issue 278. In an alternate timeline where Professor X died before forming the X-Men, Apocalypse rose to dominate the world. Using the DNA of Jean Grey and Scott Summers, Mr. Sinister created Nate Grey as a psychic weapon capable of defeating Apocalypse. When Nate transitioned into the Marvel Universe, his overwhelming psychic abilities began to destabilize his physical body. To prevent his powers from consuming him, he became a mutant shaman, dispersing his consciousness across all life on Earth, but later returned stronger than ever after merging with the celestial life seed. In Age of X-Men Alpha issue 1, Nate used his vast psychic powers to trap most of the X-Men in a reality shaped by his mind. Next, we have Quentin Quire, an Omega-level telepath with a virtually limitless reservoir of psychic potential. Initially, a rebellious troublemaker who incited chaos at Xavier's school, Quentin began maturing into a promising young hero, even capable of harnessing some of the Phoenix Force's power. He has used his telepathic skills to expose the secrets of world leaders and to shield the X-Men from even Professor X's psychic detection. During his time with X-Force, Quentin delivered the decisive blow against the hyper-evolved, sentient Cerebro unit known as Cerebrax in X-Force issue 29. Cassandra Nova isn't merely Charles Xavier's twin, she's a psychic parasite known as a Mumadry. Possessing all of Xavier's telepathic abilities, but lacking his compassion, Cassandra dedicated her life to destroying the X-Men and dismantling her brother's vision for peace. She forcibly switched minds with Xavier, manipulated the Shi'ar Empire's rulers, and waged relentless psychological warfare against the X-Men throughout the new X-Men story arc. Though the X-Men managed to defeat her, Cassandra left a psychic fragment within Emma Frost's mind, later using it to turn Emma against the team. Once fully restored, Cassandra unleashed global waves of hatred that required the combined strength of the X-Men and Avengers to finally stop her. Charles Xavier's mind is unparalleled, cementing his place as one of the most powerful telepaths on Earth. With extraordinary psychic strength and decades of experience, Xavier routinely confronts telepathic threats like the Shadow King, and can even receive messages from across the galaxy. When enhanced by Cerebro, Professor X has the capability to create complete mental backups of every mutant on Earth, preserving them to restore their consciousness in resurrected bodies. In X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023, Xavier used his telepathic might to take control of millions of mutants simultaneously, compelling them to walk through portals to escape a massive attack from the Orcus organization led by Nimrod. Jean Grey, with her Omega-level telepathy and intimate bond with the Phoenix Force, may possess the most powerful mind in existence. Though she began as one of Professor X's first students, Jean quickly became a telepathic powerhouse in her own right. Her most astonishing accomplishments include linking millions of minds, undoing the manipulations of foes like Cassandra Nova, and battling cosmic entities such as Nightmare, Null, and Galactus. Most recently, in Rise of the Powers of X issue 5, Jean defeated Enigma, an AI dominion that existed outside of reality, delivering psychic strikes that transcended time and space. Then there's David Haller, better known as Legion, who is an Omega-level mutant capable of generating spontaneous mutations, each with its own unique powers. Whether due to his overwhelming abilities, his mental health challenges, or a mix of both, David creates a separate persona, or alter ego, to manage each of these distinct powers. At one point, he claimed to have 200 Omega-level split personalities coexisting within his mind. Rogue once revealed that during her time inside Legion's psyche, she was connected to thousands of powers, with even more being born as time passed. And who could forget the moment when he infiltrated Charles Xavier's mind undetected, reliving his father's memories while cleverly disguised as Magneto? What do you think of my picks for the most powerful telepaths in Marvel Comics? If you feel someone was overlooked, drop your thoughts in the comments below.